You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Ferris. Good day to you, sir.
Hey, and what a lovely day it is. And I need to thank the authorities that be. It was kind of a treat for me.
Oh, yeah?
Walking in the studio. Yeah. And, of course, you know, any finely well-appointed broadcast studio.
Yeah.
There's craft services. Things are catered in. And there's pastries.
Caviar,
sometimes there's an omelet station. You just never know.
Something.
But Heidi, and apparently I think it was you, brought in a nice little new fresh batch of Schweppes ginger ale.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, I tried to drink one of those and she smacked it out of my hand.
Because they aren't for you.
It's for Dan.
It's for the talent.
It's for Dan.
For me.
How dare you?
It's like a brunch mimosa without the mimosa.
Oh, well.
Very refreshing, very lovely, and I appreciate it.
I'll take your word for that, Dan. I don't get to wet my beak with it. I know that.
Well, you know, John, would you like a little cheese with that wine? What a baby. Good Lord Almighty.
You know, it is what it is.
It is a National Egg Roll Day. Love a good egg roll.
Yeah.
Like anything else, they can be used for good or evil. I've had bad egg rolls. Make no mistake.
Really bad egg rolls, yeah.
And I had never tried an egg roll until like 1999. I remember trying the first egg roll, and I was like,
"You're kidding!"
Wow, that's pretty good.
That was probably about the same time I tried one for the first time too.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. So if
we might have been together.
Okay, so you're given an option. Say you're going to get an order of egg rolls.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the sweet and sour or the hot mustard?
Sweet and sour.
I
all
don't
the
do
way.
either. If
I'm
I do,
a mustard dude, big time.
Are you?
Give me a spicy mustard with that egg roll. Not a sweet sour guy. I'm just not.
Yeah. What about with your crab rangoon? Still not a sweet and sour person?
Well, I'll thank you to stay out of my personal sexual life, Heidi. Is that where we were going with that? Did I misread that?
I think that was a...
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad we could clear that up, whatever that little snafu was.
Thank you, Heidi.
Holy cow. Elizabeth Hurley has birthday today. She's 57.
I like Elizabeth.
I always liked Elizabeth, too. She's never done something where I kind of went, hey, maybe you shouldn't have done that. She seems like a lovely young lady.
She does seem pretty
You
cool.
don't follow her on Instagram then, do you?
I don't even know what Instagram is, John.
I don't know
like,
what Instagram.
Yeah, she's posted some photos, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing, lady? Come on, no, don't do that.
And why are you following that stuff, John?
I don't know. It's on my Instagram.
He looks at smut
And
all day.
and you wonder why you don't get ginger ale. Why don't you take a good hard look in the mirror there, mister?
No.
I know what's going on.
I don't know why I follow
Elizabeth
her.
Hurley is 57, and really, honestly, perfect. She could be my next ex-wife. We just don't know yet.
She could
We
be.
don't
Yeah.
Frances Ethel Gum, born this day in beautiful Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
I know this. Why do I know this?
Judy Garland.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, I have been actually her childhood home in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. It's marked. There's a little sign in the yard and everything else.
Cute.
Nice.
Childhood home of Frances Ethel Gum. And people who don't know, they go, what does that even mean?
So?
Who cares?
Well, it does explain. You have to take a little tour, buy a postcard, and get on with your life. It was 1977. This is just fascinating stuff. 1977. Little company called Apple Computers ships its first batch of the Apple II computer.
Yeah.
Hit store shelves. Asking price this day in 77.
$500.
$1,298.
That's a lot of dough now. That was a ton of dough back.
Oh, that's a fortune.
Yeah.
Absolute fortune.
That's like $1 million today.
It absolutely sure was.
Maybe not quite.
Wow.
It was a 1692, and this was in all the papers. This day, 1692, the very first victim, if you want to put him that way, I guess, of the Salem witch trials, Miss Bridget Bishop, is hanged for practicing witchcraft in the colony of Massachusetts.
Holy cow.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because she's a witch. It's on all the history books. Look it up.
If she's a witch, she will set on fire right now. Yeah, that was a bad deal.
1935, probably one of the best inventions ever, I guess, if you could construe it as an invention. It was this day in 1935. Dateline, Akron, Ohio. Dr. Robert H. Smith of Akron, along with his new buddy Bill Wilson from New York City, launch a little thing called Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, nice.
It would commemorate Dr. Bob's date of his very last drink.
You know, it's not very anonymous. You just gave out their names.
Well, it's because they're deceased, John.
It no longer applies.
As Dr. Bob and Bill, your friend of Bill, your friend of Bill. I mean, this stuff's been going on forever. There are literally factions of AA all over every single country in the world. Millions and millions of people.
I know a lot of people who have gone through that program very, very successfully, and it's changed their life.
Saved millions of lives.
Absolutely.
That's all there is to it.
Fantastic.
And you know what it costs?
How much?
Nothing.
Really?
That's awesome.
Nothing. Doesn't cost you anything.
Huh. What about these ones you see on TV where it's like a luxury spa?
Well, it depends on what you want, man.
Those are a lot different. That's a lot more expensive.
If you want, say, I don't know, fresh ginger ale in the studio, perhaps a deep tissue massage, well, you're going to need a pretty darn good insurance policy.
All right.
So it is what it is. So, yeah, hey, congrats on that. Now, I know, you know, we all know, we just bang ahead.
Gonna do that. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Thank you for listening on a Friday. I've got a guest joining me. I've got Lou George with Siouxland Oral Maxillofacial Surgery. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, John. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Excited to visit with you. And we're talking today about something really that's going to be a ton of fun. But when you think about cancer, you don't typically think about fun. But we've got a really cool event coming up, Voices Against Cancer. And you helped set up Voices Against Cancer Initiative. Let's talk a little bit about this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We are very excited about it. We're just excited with the attention that it's going to bring to the need for raising funds specifically for pediatric cancer research. This idea was hatched by me and a voice actor in L.A. who originally is a South Dakota native, Wally Wingert, who is going to be one of our guests as well. And then we've got some really great people on board. I know you spoke to my treasurer, Rob Kiesacker, amazing guy, and our legal counsel, attorney Corey Bruning, has really helped us as a whole to pull all of this together. And we are just amazed with the outpouring of positivity surrounding this event. We have ourselves an amazing talent coordinator, a gentleman from Missouri named Josh Brame, and everyone has just been fantastic with this. We're excited with the energy that's in the air and of what's coming to Sioux Falls. Speaking
of coming to Sioux Falls, we've got a bunch of amazing celebrity guests that'll be coming to Sioux Falls. And these are people who, some of them, you know them by looking at them because you know them, you know their face from seeing them in things, but you definitely know all of them by their voice. Hundreds, maybe thousands of characters that are covered with this group of voices that are going to be in Sioux Falls.
Absolutely. We're covering the gambit, going back to the 80s with the original Transformers with Frank Welker and Peter Cullen, Megatron and Optimus Prime, respectively, and all the voices that they've done, everything in between up to now. And then, of course, you know, Giancarlo Esposito, who was the main villain on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and now, of course, everyone knows him as Moff Gideon on The Mandalorian show, along with Emily Swallow, also from The Mandalorian, and a host of anime actors and actresses that are coming along to help us push this over the top. We couldn't be more excited, really.
And some of the folks that I'm excited to chat with, Charlie Schlatter, we had a chance to meet last year. A super nice guy. He's an actor that's been in several movies, but then he's also the voice of a bunch of different characters. And we're going to be chatting with him on the radio, I believe, next week. But then I'm also looking on here. We've got C. Thomas Howell. He goes by Tommy Howell nowadays, but he was in The Outsiders. He was on E.T. He was on all these amazing movies back in the 80s. And now he's a musician as well, which is really cool.
Yes, and actually he's going to be performing a concert after the event is over. Our event runs on July 9th. We're at the Washington Pavilion from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then he's going to be doing a concert in a more intimate portion of the pavilion, and that promises to be a great event. He's a fantastic guy as well.
And there are just a ton of amazing people that are going to be here. I'm going to throw a link on our page to make it easy to find, but if you're maybe just cruising through right now and you're not going to be able to hear the end of this, I'm going to tell you, voicesagainstcancer.org is the website. Easy to find. Like I said, we'll throw a link as well, voicesagainstcancer.org. The event is coming up. next month. It's going to be here before you know it, Saturday, July 9th, and this is at the Washington Pavilion. If people would like to get tickets, they can get them on your website right now, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Along with VIP passes, check those out. They are limited amount, but they come with all of the Disney perks like line cutting and fast pass, and get you a couple extra minutes with the celebrities, who, by the way, let me just throw out, are all amazing people. We really work hard not only to bring good names here, but people who are fantastic and who are really believers in what we're doing here. And it really has been an awesome experience.
I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me today.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be able to talk with you.
Again, Voices Against Cancer. It's happening on Saturday, July 9th, so it's a month away, but you're going to want to get your tickets today. VoicesAgainstCancer.org. We've got a link to it at facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. And Dan, what do you find interesting on this Free Flag Friday?
A little more business to take care of, and thanks to Mark and the crew at Maximum Promotions for supplying us with what I think, seriously, man, I love this promotion. It's Free Flag Friday.
It is. It's
That's
one of the
all there
coolest
is to it.
radio promotions in the world.
It really is. All you got to do is sign up to win, and you know what? You're going to get a beautiful 3x5 foot made in the USA flag. You're going to get all the hardware. You're going to get the posts, blah, 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 to get it done. And, we'll just...
Put it right on the side of your house, and you'll be all set and ready to rock and roll.
You can implant it right in your forehead, because this is America. You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
And to our close personal friend, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barry Bailey.
Nice.
Proud owner. And again, this is any flag they have in sight. It does not necessarily have to be an American flag.
Right.
There are now Sioux Falls flags. There's flags from all over the world. And if they have it in stock, if it's a 3x5 foot and it fits the bill, that's yours.
That's
Who's going
awesome.
to get a Dan Ferris flag?
Okay, we had mentioned this because it's a big deal, and I want to say it was June 6th, correct? Commemorates the anniversary of the D-Day invasion.
1944.
And I
yes.
believe it was the 78th anniversary.
78th. Yeah.
Okay, on the 6th, and I just tripped across information you don't know, because you think you know your history. And, my dad was actually in World War II. My uncle, Pete, actually, my father's, one of his older brothers, Pete, was actually, he was on that mission.
Oh, wow.
He landed in Normandy. And, some of the stories are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But getting ready for what is known as the world's largest amphibious military assault ever in history.
Yeah.
There's like 160,000 troops.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Allies, and all the training that went into that and everything they had to do, and like everything military. And my son explained this to me. My son was former Special Forces Airborne. He said a lot of military is waiting. It's waiting.
Yeah.
Right.
You go through the training, you do this, and then you
sit and wait.
You wait.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you do more training. So while they're waiting for this assault, and they had weather things to fight, and just the logistics going into this was insane.
And trying to keep it under wraps so they didn't know they were coming.
Plus, they have all these supplies, and these troops all have to be fed. And a lot of them, they're on the water. They're sitting on water.
Yeah.
And they've got their usual supplies. Every soldier is given a gas mask, this and that. They've got their rifles. They've got their armaments.
Wow.
And most of the time was spent playing cards.
Oh, really?
While they're waiting for go time,
Right.
show time, to get the final word to go, we're on.
It's D-Day.
Right.
Let's do it.
This is what I didn't know.
Oh.
Every single one of those soldiers, along with everything they were going to need to pull this off,
Got a Hershey bar.
they were each given $4 spending money.
Oh, really?
$4.
They got $4 apiece
Wow.
for
$4.
for invasion money.
Invasion.
Yes. It's like, so let's say you find yourself, I don't know, inland a few weeks later, you're going to need a little walking around, though. It's like, it struck me as so hilarious, but it's totally
I
true.
wonder who came up with that amount.
Apparently, it was just done with logistics and math. It's like, by the way, You're all getting $4.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
There are people
really.
who have to come up with that amount, though. They had
Wow.
to crunch the numbers and figure it out.
Yes.
A movie recently, and I don't remember the name of the movie, but
That's fascinating.
Michael Keaton is in the movie, and he plays a real man who had to calculate the amount of money that was given to the survivors from 9/11 and the surviving families, and how much he had to divide. What is a human life worth?
It's
And
got to
a
break
real
out
guy.
somehow, right?
Yeah.
It's
But
got to.
It's
Yeah.
a real guy that had to do that, and they made a movie about it. It was fascinating. And then I kind of put my feet in that person's shoes and just go, don't want to do that.
No,
I'm
that
glad
would be
I don't have to think of
horrifying.
that.
So along with everything else, those brave young men, all those years ago, 78 years ago, they were all given field packs and sidearms and rifles, machine guns, field glasses, walkie-talkies, jackets stuffed with hand grenades, smoke bombs, heavy loads of ammunition, prepared dynamite charges, flamethrowers, grenade launchers, bazookas, TNT charges. And here's $4. In case push comes to shove.
Is a Hershey bar on that list, or did I read that wrong?
Maybe.
So I was thinking just recently, I thought I saw somebody posted that online. They said they celebrate every year with a Hershey bar because that's what they had that day.
Yeah, because there was, pipes and cigarette tobacco and on, and people need what people need. But that just cracked me up when I got to the part, and $4.
That is kind of funny.
Here you go, buddy. Good luck. Right when you get work.
Maybe next year we can do a big $4 giveaway on D-Day.
Isn't that something, though?
That list of supplies is awfully overwhelming, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
Hey.
It's a lot of stuff, man. And think about how heavy that is.
When you think about it, for instance, and I learned a lot. And again, you know me, I'm a huge backer of U.S. military.
Oh, yeah.
Man. First responders, cops, fire, you name it. I love them. But it wasn't until my son was military where I really started learning things that I never would have known in my entire life, and just the way he presented his own experience, and it was a very positive one. And thank you, Luke, for your service. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So very, very much. But some of the things he would just say, again, the waiting part. And sometimes it was pretty maddening.
Yeah.
And he said, but you need to understand, for say every pair of boots on the ground are actually a combat soldier. He said it takes a good 100 to 120 other personnel just to support that one gun on the ground.
Isn't that amazing?
So it's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Right.
When you think about all that takes place and what makes a fantastic military and what doesn't. And,
Absolutely.
this country's pretty incredible. But, if you know anybody who was there, if they still got that $4, man, I'll buy it off them.
I doubt they still have the $4.
Yeah, probably not. But still, by the way,
Yeah.
here's $4.
And thank you for your service.
That's
Very nice.
So I just thought that was pretty darn interesting.
I can see why. This is what we refer to as stuff Dan finds interesting on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, June 10th, 2022. Equities face an important hurdle today in the form of the Consumer Price Index. The CPI data is expected to moderate from the previous month, but remain high and in favor of aggressive FOMC action. The obvious risk for the market is the data will be hotter than expected. The real risk is that the CPI data no longer matters. It is clear to the market that inflation is out of control and will continue to rise over the next several quarters at a very robust pace. In this light, the FOMC can be expected to hike rates for an open-ended amount of time and alter the face of the economic world for the next decade or longer. In this scenario, the market is set up for a fall and will most likely retest at 3,900 on the S&P 500 within the next week. Next week, the risk for the market will be the FOMC meeting. The meeting should bring a 50 basis point interest rate hike, with the possibility the timeline for follow-up hikes will be accelerated. The takeaway is that without some major change to the economic fundamentals, and we don't see one coming, the S&P 500 will spend the next few years recovering from the pandemic. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.